Chaos erupted on Good Morning Britain today when former Prime Minister Boris Johnson abruptly walked out of a live interview. Viewers were left stunned as Johnson, 60, suddenly ended his conversation with hosts Susanna Reid and Richard Madeley, broadcasting live from Kyiv on the third anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Susanna expressed surprise at Boris's presence in the war zone, given that world leaders were actively discussing Ukraine's ongoing crisis. She asked, "This is a bit of a surprise that you've turned up in Kyiv. It's a big day, of course, because world leaders are having this call about what to do about Ukraine. What do you think should happen?" Addressing recent remarks by Donald Trump, who suggested Ukraine had manipulated the U.S. into spending $350 billion on aid, Boris dismissed the claim as rubbish. He then asserted that a minerals agreement between the U.S. and Ukraine was close to being finalized, stating, "That commits the US not only to future financing of Ukraine but also to a free, sovereign, and secure Ukraine under Donald Trump. That is not to be sneezed at, it's a very important commitment." However, just moments later, Boris ended the interview abruptly. While adjusting his earpiece, he muttered, "Anyways, I've got to love you and leave you." Richard attempted to continue the conversation, asking, "As a former prime minister, how do you deal with an American president who says that black is white? How do you talk to him?" Boris, clearly eager to leave, responded briefly, "You have to keep knocking the ball back over the net." Without further comment, Boris removed his microphone and walked off the set, leaving Susanna to conclude, "Thank you very much indeed for your time this morning." Just disentangling himself from our microphone, and off he goes. Following the sudden exit, Susanna and Richard interrupted their broadcast to deliver breaking news from Boris's remarks. Susanna reported, "Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson tells this program there is a deal to be done over Ukraine, and now is the time for the UK to step up in negotiations with the US to end the war." Richard added, he was speaking live just a few minutes ago, predicting that there will be a deal in the next couple of days between America and Ukraine over mineral rights, which, effectively, he says, will put America back with skin in the game. A big game changer. This incident is not the first time Boris has caused controversy on GMB. In 2019, he was accused of hiding in a fridge to avoid an interview with Piers. During a pre-dawn visit to the Modern Milkman in Pudsey, Yorkshire, GMB producer Jonathan Swain approached Boris, asking, "Morning, Prime Minister, would you come on Good Morning Britain?" Boris's aide was caught on camera mouthing, "Oh for F********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Boris initially responded, "I'll be with you in a second," but instead, he walked off and entered a large fridge filled with milk crates. Piers Morgan, watching the moment unfold, exclaimed, "He's gone into the fridge." A Tory source later insisted Boris was not hiding, but instead preparing for another pre-scheduled interview. With today's unexpected departure, Boris has once again found himself at the center of media scrutiny, raising questions about his willingness to engage in tough political discussions on live television.